In a close-knit community, there is typically a communal reaction when a child disappears. This is precisely what transpired when Charlie Campbell's dog, Penny, vanished. And you won't believe what the Pitbull did for her little human. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. A 2-year-old blonde girl was visiting her grandmother in June 2018 in Lebanon Junction, a small rural hamlet located around 30 miles outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Grandma Beth watched over her cherished granddaughter Mo closely because the location was surrounded by forests. Little Charlie's Pitbull Penny was at her side while she was playing outside. Charlie's grandfather got up that morning at his regular early hour, prepared to be off for work by 5:30. Before leaving the home, he cast a quick check into Charlie's room to make sure she was still asleep and securely tucked in bed. However, Grandmother Beth discovered the front door was open when she awoke. She was unaware of what had occurred at first, but reality set in a few seconds later when she realized Charlie was missing. She suddenly found herself in the situation that many caretakers dreaded the most. With the kid just 2 years old, the list of horrible things that could happen to her was so long that Beth's mind was racing. The thought of her lost and abandoned in the woods hurt so much. Even though the grandmother considered the possibility of Charlie being abducted, she hoped and prayed that Charlie had left the house voluntarily. She feared for the young girl's safety, not just because she was, of course, quite dear to her, but also because she had previously received an autistic diagnosis. Her illness was characterized by her frequent lack of speech, which meant that she wouldn't always react when someone called her name. Though it may not have brought as much comfort to most, Beth Campbell knew that her Pitbull was also gone, and she felt deep inside that the dog was with her granddaughter. The Bullitt County Sheriff's Office initiated a well-organized search, and the FBI later joined in. Charlie vanished early on Thursday. After interviewing as many family members as possible to gather as much information as possible, the officers turned their attention to the search party. Each minute the young girl was gone was recorded. A common tactic used when someone goes missing is to send out a big number of bloodhounds to assist with the search in the region. That greatly raises the likelihood that they will be discovered promptly and unharmed. The inhabitants of Bullitt County instantly stepped forward to aid with the hunt. Over 100 people showed up and hurried to the forest. Charlie's blue pajamas from her last sighting served as a useful hint to help with the hunt. Additionally, a ton of posters featuring Charlie's most recent photos were printed and hung up across the neighborhood. Charlie resided in a region that was very forested. She was the kind of small kid who could easily slip and tumble into a ditch or just vanish into the forest. Furthermore, a considerable number of coyotes were present in the hills, and they would not think twice about viewing a little person as prey. In addition, rattlesnakes and copperheads were common in the region. The snakes were potentially quite hazardous, yet they didn't appear to be the least of the concerns. People who become lost in forested environments frequently perish from the elements. Not only would a 2-year-old girl not know where to look for cover on her own, but there was also a very significant risk of injury or dehydration. People were hoping for little Charlie to turn up all throughout the county. One individual, in particular, was fervently hoping that this tragedy would turn out well. This man's name was Wayne Brown. He joined the search team that Thursday afternoon and spent more than 3 hours trying to find Charlie. Wayne had first-hand experience with the impact a lost loved one could have on a family. His brother, who was 3 years old, had vanished while he was just 8. At the time, the neighborhood had also come together to aid in the boy's disappearance hunt. Regretfully, Wayne's brother drowned in a creek and was subsequently discovered miles from his residence. Wayne was still able to vividly remember some of the horrific emotions his family had gone through. He would happily take any action necessary to protect grandmother Beth Campbell from this trauma. Being a devout guy, he took some time on Friday to sit on the porch and pray. Time was running out. Charlie had been absent for about 36 hours already. The likelihood of finding the girl alive decreased with the amount of time she spent by herself in the woods. In the wilderness, not even the sniffer dogs could detect any scent. The sun was ready to set on yet another day when Wayne Brown and his wife peeked out of their window by accident and observed something unusual in the distance. Upon spotting a bundle of blue and yellow against the tree line, they hurried outdoors to investigate without wasting any more time. Beth Campbell was waiting at home in the interim. Authorities typically request that one family member remain in place in case the missing individual makes a comeback. She was having a hard time maintaining her optimism and felt worthless. Her little child would soon have to spend the night alone once more in the wilderness without food, drink, or the comfort of her favorite toys. Beth had a very strong relationship with her granddaughter and was fighting the thoughts of any of the worst-case possibilities that might play out in this situation. All she could do was pray that her dog would protect Charlie until the search team located her. Her dreams were then dashed, though. Suddenly, she caught a glimpse of Penny, the family PitBull, racing toward the home. Her granddaughter had vanished, and her beloved dog had also vanished. She was back home now, but Charlie wasn't with her. Beth's stomach dropped. There could only be one conclusion if the dog returned without the child. Penny felt she could no longer defend tiny Charlie, which implied that her young granddaughter was beyond hope. When Beth got to Penny, she was running outside and had fallen on the ground. The pit bull appeared to be both malnourished and thirsty, with scratches and tick bites all over its body. It was obvious that she had experienced a traumatic event, likely the same one that had claimed her granddaughter's life. Beth started sobbing on the floor. With a huge head, Penny bumped Beth, who assumed she was attempting to console her. However, the dog started barking loudly and dragging her sweater in the direction of the house, almost as if she wanted Beth to go back inside. She then heard the sound of the phone ringing. Grandma Beth sprang up and rushed as fast as her legs could carry her, heading toward the kitchen. She was terrified that some cop was phoning to report a lifeless corpse, but as soon as she picked up, the voice on the other side of the phone burst in cheers. Charlie had been discovered alive. She was on her way to the hospital for an examination when she had shown up at Wayne Brown's house, which was half a mile away. Charlie's little body was covered in bug bites, and it was obvious that she was dehydrated. She appeared healthy and free of evident injuries except for that. Her grandparents were in complete shock when they met her for the first time in over 48 hours. Their young daughter didn't have the appearance of a toddler who had been left alone in a jungle for 2 days. She appeared nearly normal. They were stunned to learn that Penny, the pit bull, had actually spent those frightful hours with the greatest guardian imaginable, though, when they noticed how Penny was cuddling up to her body. Since the young girl had snuck out of the home, Penny had not taken her eyes off Charlie. The dog had protected her from the forest's perils by following her about like a real guardian angel. Her body was scratched, indicating that she intentionally put herself in danger to keep the infant safe. Penny was praised as a local hero for this precise reason, and the whole neighborhood showed her gratitude by showering her with candy and belly rubs. When Charlie gets older, she might not even remember what happened, but her family will always remember how her kind dog supported her throughout her most trying times. What an amazing tale. How did you feel about it? If a close family member and their dog vanished, how would you feel? Leave a comment below to let us know. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.